back to Fan Style Reviews, everybody. Today we're going to be talking about Andor, episode 4 and 5.
And there will be spoilers.
Thank you for catching that spoiler warning.
Gotcha.
Jamal, how you doing?
I'm doing good, Frank. How you been?
Doing good. These episodes of Andor are really good.
They are very good. I just want to say this right now. A lot of dialogue.
Yes, yeah. So still a lot of dialogue. I agree with you there. But as we've seen towards the end of episode 5, episode 6 is really going to pop off with the action. I hope. I want to say I hope, just because I could see them throwing one more episode just of dialogue of them actually getting into the safe before we actually get some action. So episodes 6 and 7 will be the start of that action.
Do you know the next upcoming Star Wars series that they'll be putting out?
Isn't it Ahsoka?
I heard it's going to be Ahsoka.
I believe she's the next one, because they're already, I think, filming that one. But that one's gonna be after Rogue One and everything, and I think it's gonna involve her helping Luke rebuild the Jedi.
Well, I think right now, this is just prediction, I think that's going to have more action in this.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, this one's more of that home-based story, but...
This is origin story for Andor.
Mm-hmm.
But I did say this the other night with some friends. I like this one better than The Mandalorian. Season 1.
I thought you was about to say Obi-Wan. I was about to say, get out of here.
I would say if it picks up, if the action picks up, because right now Obi-Wan, it had great action. I loved it. But if this one picks up, it will be better than Obi-Wan. I'm calling it.
I mean, you had the greatest villain of all time, as far as this, especially in this franchise.
Well,
the greatest villain of all time in that series. I didn't think that they would ever pull that card. I thought that they would save the big characters for the movies, but hey, they did it. And they did an amazing job with it. So it's just my prediction early right now. I don't think that this is going to be as good as Obi-Wan, but I think that it's all right.
I mean, I think it will pick up, and if it does pick up in the way I think, it'll be better. But it's definitely better than Mandalorian Season 1, better than Boba Fett, because I like Boba Fett, but it's so far this is already really good.
So on the percentage, how much do you think it's going to be better than Obi-Wan?
I'm going to give it 75%. I think that, because I think the action, we're going to see a lot of good action, and then we're going to see the building of the rebellion, which basically lays the groundwork for the movies and stuff. So
you think it's going to be
75%. I was 50% last time, 75% this time.
God damn.
But let's dive into it just a little bit. At the start of episode 4, we see
the guy from the Thor series.
Yes, we see him and Andor kind of going to the planet where they meet this small group of rebellion, and there's only 5 of them.
I thought it was like 6 of them. 7 total, including Andor.
Yeah, 7 total, including Andor. But the one guy is a lieutenant for the Imperial, and he's at the. It's just kind of a vault, isn't it? It's not actually like it's a vault with a small airfield that they got a couple TIE fighters, but I think it's just to house gold.
Okay.
Right now, at least, because that's what they're trying to steal. So they didn't know that Andor was getting thrown in there, so that threw. They were like, all of a sudden, you're gonna drop somebody off 6 months in. But I didn't really see. Now maybe it's because they thought he was an Imperial spy, but you got one more person to help you out with this thing. Why are you guys so defensive? Especially if you're going up against the Imperials who have TIE fighters and stuff. Any help you get is helpful.
I think that, I don't know why, I think they just reluctant. I mean, he's no honor among thieves, right?
It is true, but they're there. They're not really, they're there for a reason, to take down the Imperial army. So it's like, you got it, because we see it in episode 5, where the skiing, the white dude with the tattoos, which I kind of thought they were cool, because they've been using tattoos in Star Wars for like mean stuff, and I guess he was a prisoner. The Imperials had him in a prison or whatever. That's what his tattoos meant. Because Andor was like, "Oh yeah, I know what those are. I was in this other prison," but he put the knife on him and then took that necklace that the guy gave him. And it's like, why are you so obsessed with this dude and his necklace? Because they told Vel, the leader, told him that he was like a mercenary, basically, that for hire. So it's like, why are you worried about this dude? Like, he's there to do a job.
Okay.
And that's how I saw it, at least.
I mean, for me, it's take in. It's almost like watching a soap opera. Like, it's got so much dialogue.
I mean, especially since they're like 40-minute, like 35, 40-minute episodes.
Yes, these are long episodes and heavy. Like, I think that you said it's going to pick up in the next episode. Mm-hmm. I am really hoping that they need to pick up.
Yeah, so like, what I'm assuming the next episode is going to be is them breaking into the vault, but I could see us just missing the action in the next episode by just a few scenes, because they're going to like break into the vault, get the ship started, and then the episode ends, and it's like, we just watched this whole episode hoping for blasters going off, and we didn't get any of that.
There's literally only one thing out of these 2 episodes where I kind of got like, okay, something's about to happen, and then nothing happened. And that's when they had the weapons and they covered them back up.
Oh yeah,
from that warship.
Yeah, I thought that TIE fighter knew something that he wasn't, like, he just caught a glimpse of the guns or whatever, you know.
So I was like, oh, something may happen, but it didn't go anywhere. So
yeah,
I mean, I'm still waiting for some evil Imperial type of orders or something.
Well, I have a feeling that lady at Imperial headquarters, the one that really wants the information from this planet that Andor was on, who wants information about the box that he had, I think she's going to somehow show up there, and then that's going to like throw a whole wrench in the plan.
Speaking about that Imperial lady,
yeah,
I think that like on Obi-Wan, you had that Reva. She was the whole I gotta prove myself.
Yeah.
Not being no sexist here, don't target me. But it's like she feels that she gotta prove herself the same way she kind of felt that she has to prove herself. But it got to be some type of motive as to why she feels she has to prove herself.
Yeah, I mean, because she's like, oh, I just want the information because this comes from my district. But it's like, it's being handled. Like, this guy is obviously dispatched people to deal with it. Why do you need to be a part of it? I can see what you're saying, just a little bit. I mean, even if they had a dude that was doing it, we'd be saying the same thing, because it's like, why do you need to be a part of this when it's being handled by your superior, basically? Because he had a little bit more experience, even though on the badges they had the same three blue squares, 4 blue squares.
I think the one guy, the main one, he had 4. I think that.
Yeah, he was like the general overall of them, or like the commander. But we also see the guy that failed to capture Andor get fired, and now he has to go back to his mom, and she slaps him. And she's like, "You're a disgrace to the whole family. I'm gonna call your uncle, and he's gonna find you a new job." I mean, he's not letting Andor go either, because at the end of episode 5, he pulls out that thing that has Andor's face on it. He is definitely going to go bounty hunt him, or at least attempt to. I would thought maybe he would show up at that base, but I'm like, there's no way.
Well, I want to see. Like I said, I want more action. I think it's good to get your dialogue, your character development, all this and that. But what I'm looking for in this show is action. I think that's these first 5 episodes.
5 episodes, yeah.
That's a lot of dialogue there. And there was only one action scene where they blew stuff up.
Yeah, because even at the beginning when he killed those 2 Imperial troopers or security guards, there wasn't a lot of action.
Yeah.
But I think this is much... And see, when I look at it, it's much needed dialogue. So that way we can lay a good groundwork to set the season up. That's just, in my opinion. I'm okay with this dialogue.
Well... Since he like setup, I think he's gonna need to do like a timeline video. He's gonna have to do a Star Wars timeline video. Yeah.
We need to do a Star Wars timeline and then a Marvel timeline.
He's gonna do it because he gonna put it on board for everybody.
Yeah. I'm gonna give me a whiteboard. Jamel, put the whiteboard right here.
God damn.
Timeline.
God damn. But yeah, I mean, I like how the franchise they can go to different points of time and tell a story here. So
yeah, and I think going forward, that's what we'll see. Even if they pick like a different time frame to make a new show on. Yeah. I mean, they got tons of material. They could even go back to like the original Jedi days when like they were just starting.
Yeah. Yeah, they can go there with like a Jedi, Sith origin story, something like that. Yeah.
Because, I mean, in the originals, wasn't there talk of, like, a Sith Lord that had been struck down and stuff? So they could, like, go back to that story and show us that and everything.
And in the original story, it wasn't like the temple built off the Sith...
Sith core or whatever. The Jedi temple was on top of it. And
that was just stupid to me, if you ask me. Like, you asking for it. You asking for that.
Well, they said that because the Jedi temple was built on this core, they couldn't sense Palpatine's Sith Lordness because
he was drawn energy from it.
Well, because the core was like, if anybody sensed Sith, it was coming from the core. They thought so. Like, I mean, obviously
they thought that they had control of the core.
Yeah, and then, but he was like controlling everything from the shadows, as we saw. But
and he was drawing energy from that core.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the story right there.
It definitely is.
You know, we want to know about that. I mean,
how he became a Sith Lord, like how he trained. I mean, we can see a whole Palpatine.
We can see him. We can go farther than that and go to like maybe do something about the first Sith or something like that. It's a lot of Star Wars story that you know they can expand on, and then having this Disney Plus platform to push stuff out.
Well, speaking of shows, Visions, like the kind of shorts that they did for Star Wars, it got picked up for a second season. So we will see a second season of Visions as well.
Visions?
You know the shorts that Disney did where it was like a different story each show?
Oh, okay.
That got picked up for a second season.
Okay, cool.
So we will have that along with Ahsoka, but I think Ahsoka comes out first.
Okay. Ahsoka looks good.
But you got anything else that you want to discuss about that?
I mean, I'm sure all these shows are already taped and filmed and stuff. I'm just hoping that there is more action. That's just one thing I want. Like,
I will say, if there's no more, if the action doesn't pick up, it will fall a little flat.
Yeah.
So
now, like I said, I'm not greedy on the action because I did a good job with Obi-Wan, and I'm very grateful to be able to watch that. But at the same time, please pick up this story.
Yeah.
Like, that's all I got to say about, that.
Well, let's go ahead and go into rating it.
Let's go and go into rating it.
You want me to start off?
Go ahead and lead it.
Episodes 4 and 5, I'm giving them a 9 out of 10. I like the dialogue that they laid out. Mm-hmm. Going forward, it's gonna get even better. 9 out of 10.
You liked it,
I like this one. This one's.
I think that it's too much. I think we should get dialogue, but still get some type of action each episode. So for me, I mean, dialogue scenes were good. So I'm going to give both episodes 7.5. Like I said, heavy dialogue.
Yeah.
But I do like what they do with Star Wars, so it's still a good series, but kind of cut back on the dialogue, please. All right. Well, I'd like to thank you for joining us on another episode of Fan Style Reviews. I'd like to remind you that my name is Jamil.
I'm Frank.
We're going to see you on the next one.